Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, and I am here to bring you live coverage of this boys lacrosse matchup between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the Red Wings of Rivers School. As you can see by the scoreboard clock on the display here, we have a little less than 10 minutes left before this game is set to get underway. Should be an interesting one, and as we wait for things to get started, I'll take this time to give you the roster for Milton Academy. Just going in numerical order, first off we have a freshman attack and goalie from Wellesley, Mass, number 2, Jack Alieri. Next, a sophomore attack from Chestnut Hill, Mass, number 3, Ralph Vogel. A junior long stick midfielder from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 4, Chris Scanlon. A sophomore midfielder from South Hamilton, Massachusetts, number 5, Mike Hanlon. A freshman from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, number 7, William Lavely. Lavely, a face-off specialist. A sophomore midfielder from East Northport, New York, number 6, Brendan Marr. A senior midfielder from Hyde Park, Massachusetts, number 8, Bill Eugene. Another senior midfielder from Orleans, Massachusetts, number 9, Kai Lannon. A junior midfielder from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 10, Jake Holzschlag. A sophomore defense from Milton, Massachusetts, number 11, Murphy McLaughlin. A sophomore attackman from Sudbury, Massachusetts, number 12, Ted Wu. A senior defenseman from Milton, Massachusetts, number 13, Garvin McLaughlin. A junior goalie from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 14, Alex Godwin. A sophomore midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 15, Jackson Landy. A senior midfielder from Boston, Massachusetts, number 16, Jasper Burns. A senior defenseman from Conway, New Hampshire, number 17, Austin Scott. A senior midfielder all the way from Seoul, South Korea, number 18, Jason Lee. A senior attackman from Dartmouth, Massachusetts, number 19, Max Andrade. A sophomore defenseman from Baldwinsville, New York, number 20, Wayne Simon. A junior defenseman from Brookline, Massachusetts, number 21, Luca Casagrande. A senior long stick midi from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 22, Richie Fury. A sophomore midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 23, Henry Shuttle. A junior long stick midi from Georgetown, Massachusetts, number 24, Quince Berkeley. A senior defenseman from Weston, Massachusetts, number 30, William Spencer. A junior midi from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 32, Jack Smith. A sophomore midi from Wayland, Massachusetts, number 33, Sam Johnson. A junior midfielder from Arlington, Virginia, number 34, Ethan Davidson. A senior attackman from Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 39, Nate Stewart. And last on the roster I have here in my hands, a senior midfielder from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 40, Will Vanderveen. So that is your roster for the Milton Academy Mustangs as they get ready to take on the Rivers School Red Wings. Unfortunately, I have not received a roster for Rivers School. And so I'll do the best I can with the information that I have. And ask and it shall be received. I have just received the Rivers School lineup. So we're going to have both teams' lineups coming into this game. I'll give you the rundown of the Rivers School lineup. Once again, going in numerical order, we have a junior attackman from Framingham, Massachusetts, number 1, Nicholas Bell. A senior midfielder from Holliston, Massachusetts, number 2, Brian Gonsalves. A junior defenseman from Sudbury, Massachusetts, number 3, Will Potter. A senior defenseman from Acton, Massachusetts, number 4, Alan Dennison. A junior goalie from Nashua, New Hampshire, number 5, Dominic Pasquale. A senior midfielder from Needham, Massachusetts, number 6, Jack Queller. A senior defenseman from Natick, Massachusetts, number 7, Elliot Doe. A sophomore attackman from Southborough, Massachusetts, number 8, Anthony Stillwell. A junior attackman from Acton, Massachusetts, number 9, Colin Eaton. A junior midfielder from Northborough, Massachusetts, number 10, Jaden Wild. A junior midfielder from Winchester, Massachusetts, number 11, Jack Lefebvre. A sophomore attackman from Dedham, Massachusetts, number 12, Nicholas Beakey. A senior midfielder from Lexington, Massachusetts, number 13, Thomas Decken. A sophomore midi from Natick, Massachusetts, number 14, Alex Fuchson. A freshman defenseman from Auburndale, Massachusetts, number 15, Charles Cantaros. A sophomore midfielder from Weston, Massachusetts, number 16, Henry Salyer. A sophomore midi from Marlborough, Massachusetts, number 17, Brendan Poirier. A senior attackman from Newton, Massachusetts, number 18, Joseph Kraft. A freshman attackman from Natick, Massachusetts, number 19, Joshua Doe. A sophomore defenseman from Framingham, Massachusetts, number 20, Luciano Lewandowski. A junior defenseman from West Roxbury, Massachusetts, number 21, Stephen Canavan. A junior midfielder from Wellesley, Massachusetts, number 22, Calvin Lemley. A junior midfielder from Walpole, Massachusetts, number 23, Alex Vlasic. A junior defenseman from Sudbury, Massachusetts, number 24, Grant Regan Loomis. And rounding it out, an 8th grade goalie from Ashland, Massachusetts, number 25, Marcos Ramos. So those are the lineups for the two teams, and it looks like we are about ready to get underway. Some fortunate timing there. And we're about ready to get underway. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan on behalf of Milton Academy, bringing you live coverage of this boys lacrosse game between the hosting Milton Mustangs and the visiting Rivers Red Wings. Two teams huddling up now. There's the horn from the scoreboard clock, and we're about ready to get this underway as the two teams wrap up their huddles. Rivers breaks out of their huddle as Milton finishes up theirs. As we get ready to start the first of 4 12-minute quarters for this high school boys lacrosse game. Taking the net for Rivers today looks to be number 5, Dominic Pasquale. As Milton breaks their huddle, and it looks like they're getting ready to go. It looks like taking the spot in net for Milton will be their junior goalie from Duxbury, number 14, Alex Godwin. So it's Godwin versus Pasquale between the pipes for the two teams as we get ready for the opening face-off. For Milton, it looks like they've got their face-off specialist, William Lavalley, in the center circle, getting ready to take on number 6, Jack Queller from Rivers. There's the whistle, and we are underway. The first face-off is won by Lavalley. Running around Queller as he gives his team the opening possession. Running along the far sideline. Gets past his defender, but starts to run out of room and has to double back. Throws a pass back, and another pass across to number 9, Kai Lannon. Lannon carrying it. Sends a long pass over to number 19, Max Andrade. Running around behind the net, he floats a pass over to number 3, Ralph Vogel. And Vogel sends a pass back out. And they ultimately send it back up top to Lannon. Lannon trying to run around his man, see if he can get a bit of separation. Too far outside the box, and he throws it over to Vogel as they pass it back around and cycle back up top to number 5, Mike Hanlon, who then tosses it over to number 23, Henry Shuttle. A pass and a shot, and that's the first goal of the game. Kai Lannon with a laser. Off the pass from Henry Shuttle. That'll give Milton the 1-0 lead. Great patience on the offense there by the Mustangs. They didn't get a good look their first few times around the cycle, but then finally a nice pass from Shuttle to Lannon, who then finished it 1-0. Now another face-off, and it looks like we got a bit of a scrum for it. Still trying to scoop it up. There's been some pushing and shoving, and now it's going to be picked up by Rivers' number 22, Calvin Lemley. Lemley running with it, and he decides to take the shot himself. Saved by Godwin. Godwin now being harassed by one of the Milton players. He floats it over, and that pass is slightly deflected, but recovered by Lannon. Lannon, the lone goal scorer thus far here early in the game. He gets his team across midfield. Sends a pass ahead to Andrade. Andrade sends it along the back. That is number 12, Ted Wu, with the ball as he sends a pass along to, I believe that's Vogel. Vogel working against his defender, sends a pass over to Shuttle, and then Shuttle over to Hanlon. Hanlon now making his approach. Can't quite get around. Does a spin move. He's got a bit of an opening, but he decides to pass it back to Vogel. Now an outlet pass. That's Lannon again. Lannon was trying to fight his way through, but they've lost the ball. Now running with it is Milton, and the pass is deflected out of bounds. Nice defense by number 11, Murphy McLaughlin. Milton back in it. A pass is missed. He was thinking shot before he got the ball. That was Alex Vlasic, who had a good chance there but couldn't capitalize. Ball picked up by number 17, Brendan Poirier. And he floats it over to his teammate. That's number 8 running around his man, but he gets doubled up, has to double back, throws it back over to Poirier. Poirier trying to fight his way through his man. Met with a wall, tries to take a sweeping shot and misses wide. Well defended by Milton's number 32, Jack Smith. Possession stays with Milton. Coming out around the back, tries a dangerous pass into traffic and nothing doing there. the effort from number 8, Anthony Stillwell, trying to get something going there. Tried to send it into the box, but no room. Milton now starting over on their position. This is the goalie, Godwin, with the ball. And Godwin's just going to run with it. He's going to bring it across midfield himself. And it looks like we got an offsides whistle from the officials. Godwin went a little too far there, and now we start back with Rivers. Pass back and forth. This is number 18 trying to spin around his man. Well defended. It's Joseph Kraft with the ball for Rivers. Trying to fight his way through, being very well defended by the Mustangs. He floats it over to number 2, Brian Gonsalves, who then sends an outlet pass along the right side. I believe that is Stillwell. Stillwell trying to fight through his man. He gets an opening and he shoots and scores! Anthony Stillwell knots the score at 1 apiece. He did a good job forcing his way through the defense of number 32, Jack Smith. We are all tied up at 1 apiece with 8:19 still left here in the first period. Plenty of scoring excitement thus far, and once again it'll be Lavallee against Queller here in the center as we restart the action. Two players pushing, and it seemed like it was won for a second by Lavallee, but Queller forcing the issue. It's ultimately picked up by Lannon. Kai Lannon swooped in to take that ball for his team, and now he's trying to push his way through several defenders, almost being triple teamed there for a second, and ultimately throws it ahead to Andrade, and Milton gets their offense going. Andrade running around the back, sends a pass over to Ralph Vogel. Vogel sends the pass out to Hanlon. Hanlon sends it way up top to Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen holding it at the point. Starting to approach, gets around a defender, decides to float it over to Hanlon. Now over to Lannon, shot! It seems like it was blocked by a defender. So nothing doing on that one, and now Milton working in transition. The long pass goes to the long stick. And now a couple passes ahead, they've got it to number 22. Thrown ahead to number 18, Kraft. Kraft sends another pass over, shot, saved by Godwin. Nice shot by Godwin off the shot from number 15, Charles Cantaros. Couple passes ahead, they swing it over to number 15, Jackson Landy. Landy working against his man in transition, trying to get on the attack, trying to force his way through, lost the ball, scooped up by Andrade to keep possession for his team. He sends the pass behind the net to Ted Wu. Wu working from the deep right corner. Running out, trying to find an opening, can't find it, so he sends it back up top to Hanlon. Now Hanlon sends it over to Vanderveen. Vanderveen coming from the point once again. Goes for a spin move, nothing there. Still trying to juke out his man. Might have some separation here. Help is on the way though. And he has to decide to pass it back to Vogel. Vogel now coming around the back. Floats the pass out to Shuttle, and now back up top to Hanlon. Hanlon now running with it. Gets around his man but runs out of room. He's going to try and come out around the back. The defense comes to help, and he almost lost the ball for a second, picked it back up, still trying to fight his way out of trouble. He gets out of danger. Nice effort by Hanlon, but there goes the possession clock. So Rivers takes over, and now they're working in transition. This is number 23, Alex Vlasic. Vlasic sends the pass over to Stillwell. Actually, no, that is number 9, Colin Eaton. Couple of passes, and now I believe they've got it to Stillwell. Stillwell, the lone goal scorer for Rivers thus far. He sends a pass behind the net to number 2, Gonsalves. Gonsalves standing behind the net, looking around, surveying his options, trying to fight against his man, sends an outlet pass ultimately to number 17, Brendan Poirier. Poirier running with it, defended by Smith. He tries an outlet pass. He was going for a cutting teammate, but missed. And Rivers is going to have to reset on that one. This is Stillwell with the ball. Stillwell runs around his man. He's got a bit of an opening. Floats a pass in. Shot missed. Prime opportunity there for Rivers number 13, Thomas Decken, off the feed from Stillwell. Now it's Gonsalves trying to come around the back. He's well covered. They're running out of time. They try the shot. Saved by Godwin. But we've got a whistle blown. It looks like they're going to call a foul. That was a highly contested spot around the box. As it was Eaton trying to score it, he now passes over to Poirier. Poirier sends it to the corner. Now trying to work his way towards the box is number 18, Kraft. Kraft running into a wall. Cannot fight his way through and has to float the pass over. Couple passes and now it's back with Stillwell. Stillwell working his way around the defender. Shot is blocked. Some great defensive efforts from Milton. But Rivers has not lost possession yet. They're still going to keep going. Pass goes up top to Stillwell. Stillwell takes the pick from Gonsalves, but still very well defended. Ultimately sends it out to Gonsalves. Passed over to Kraft, now over to Poirier. Poirier trying to work around his man. That is Jack Smith defending him and taking him to the ground. And almost took the ball away, but it's picked up by Stillwell. Stillwell trying to sneak his way through. He falls down, and that ball gets poked away. We've got a whistle, though, and that's going to be a foul called. Some rough defense from Milton once again. This time, number 24, Quince Berkeley, almost picked it up. But there was a whistle, and so looks like instead the ball will stay with Rivers, and I think they'll be getting the man up here. Actually, a couple of man up. It looks like it's going to be 6-on-4. Tough spot for the Mustangs as the game is tied 1-1 with 3:26 left here in the first period. We await the official signal to get things going. And there we go. Kraft to Poirier, and then up top, and then swung over to Stillwell, then back to number 23, back to Stillwell, back to Vlasic. Vlasic passes over to Poirier, back up top to Vlasic, now over to Stillwell. Stillwell sends it over to Gonsalves, shot, score! Number 2, Brian Gonsalves gives the Red Wings the lead. Patient ball movement from the Red Wings there. And it looks like we got a timeout called. Milton had 2 players serving the penalty at that time, Jack Smith and Quince Berkeley. Scoreboard has not yet updated with the second score, which is weird. I'm not sure if there was maybe some reason it didn't count, or maybe the scoreboard's just late to update. But either way, 3 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the first quarter. We've had a Milton goal from number 9, Kai Lannon. We had an equalizer coming from Rivers number 8, Anthony Stillwell. And then assuming that last goal counted, that would be the go-ahead score from number 2, Brian Gonsalves. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan on behalf of Milton Academy, bringing you live coverage of this boys lacrosse game here on a cloudy yet lovely day here in Milton, Massachusetts. Two teams huddling up, and it looks like they're coming out of the huddle. And it looks like for Milton, they'll have Kai Lannon serving a 1-minute penalty. I'm not sure why. I thought I saw an official throw a flag during the timeout. I don't know what happened. Did Lannon say something? Bit of confusion there. But either way, it looks like Rivers is going to get the ball on the Milton end. And there's the second goal on the scoreboard, so it is 2-1 in favor of Rivers after that second goal by Brian Gonsalves. So starting with the ball will be Alex Vlasic. He brings it up and passes it over to Poirier, now over to Kraft, now back to Poirier. Back up top to Vlasic, swung over to Stillwell, and now Gonsalves, who just scored, back to Stillwell, back up top to Vlasic, back over to Poirier. Poirier swings it over to Eaton, and now behind to Kraft, back to Eaton. Eaton thought about it, pass back to Kraft, a pass out to Stillwell. Stillwell fires, misses high. Rivers maintains possession. Kraft coming out the back. The pass almost taken away, but recovered by Gonsalves. He tried to charge, but thought against it. Pass out back to Kraft, now over to Eaton. Eaton thought about it, decided against it. Now thought about it again. Shot turned away by Godwin. Might have been slightly wide anyway. Possession remains with Rivers. Pass out to Gonsalves. Gonsalves thought about it, decided against it. Passed out to Poirier. Poirier sends it back to Gonsalves. Out back to Kraft. Kraft being pursued by the defense. Floats a pass to Gonsalves. Gonsalves looking around. He charges and loses the ball. Nicely defended by Alex Godwin in net. Godwin sends the outlet pass over to number 33, Sam Johnson. Johnson now running with it in transition as Milton trying to get the offense going for the first time in a good while. Pass is floated over to Kyle Lannon, who just finished serving the penalty. Swung over to number 22 and then passed very quickly over to number 3, Ralph Vogel. Vogel sends a pass back up top to Lannon, and Lannon restarts things from the top. Minute and a half left to go in the period. 2-1, the Red Wings lead over the Mustangs. Lannon floats the pass over to Max Andrade. Andrade moving around the right corner, starting to come behind the net. Surveying. Looks like he's going to start from behind. Trying to spin around his man. Well defended. Surveys. Passes it out to Shuttle. Shuttle sends it back up top to Hanlon. Hanlon resets the play. Turns around, passes it over to Shuttle. Henry Shuttle running out of time, and there's the possession clock again. And we've got a flag thrown. Looks like this is going to be another penalty against Milton. Maybe Shuttle wasn't supposed to roll the ball back to them. Maybe he was supposed to just drop it. But it looks like Rivers will get a chance to start. Yeah, it looks like they're giving a 30-second penalty to Henry Shuttle. So now it'll be Rivers operating in the man up once again. Couple passes, they go to the corner. Looks like Gonsalves again. Passed out back, now passed over to Eaton. Up top to Poirier. Poirier fires the bounce shot, and it skips past the net. Bounced a little high and wide there. Rivers restarting. This is Joseph Kraft passing it over to, I believe that's Gonsalves. Out to Stillwell, now back to Gonsalves. Over to Kraft. Kraft floats it over to Eaton. Eaton streaking towards the net, shoots, turned away. Nice work by Godwin. They do more quick passes, and Eaton tries again, and again he's denied by Godwin. Alex Godwin keeping his team in this as the first quarter ends. We are through one here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. The score thus far, although it's slightly obscured by the polls there, but it is the Rivers School Red Wings 2, the Milton Academy Mustangs 1. Goals scored thus far. Milton opened the scoring with a goal by number 9, Kai Lannon. And then Rivers responded, first the equalizer from number 8, Anthony Stillwell, and then the go-ahead score in a 6-4 advantage situation from number 2, Brian Gonsalves. Since then, Alex Godwin has been a wall to keep any further scores from happening. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan coming to you live from Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. And I'll be taking a quick mute break, but I'll be back after a short bit with the second period. Stay tuned. And I'm back here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, bringing you live coverage of this boys lacrosse game between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the visiting Rivers School Red Wings. The Red Wings currently hold a slight advantage, 2-1 after one period of play. The two teams switch directions. And Milton's faceoff specialist, William Lavalley, going back to the faceoff circle. Looks like he'll be facing off from somebody different. Jack Queller took the first couple of faceoffs, but it looks like we're going to have something different here as we get this underway. It's won quickly by Lavalley, and he takes off down the field. Quick pass, another quick pass, shot, scores! Max Andrade! Great sequence of passing, starting with a quick faceoff win by the specialist, William Lavalley. Quickly ran upfield, sent a nice pass over to Ralph Vogel, who then quickly found Max Andrade. I felt like I was watching a fast break in a basketball game. Great passing from the Mustangs, and they tie it up 2-2. Lavalley now back in the faceoff circle once again. Bit more of a push this time. Both guys trying to assert their position here. Nothing doing, and now it's finally pushed out. We have some pushing and shoving, though. And it looks like a penalty will be called, and it's going to be called against Rivers. I believe that was Rivers number 17, Brendan Poirier, who might have committed the infraction there, as now the offense gets going for Milton. This is Mike Hanlon with the ball. Quick pass ahead, but then it's lost. Taken away by Rivers. Quick floating pass ahead, and now Rivers taking off down the field. Poirier now with the ball. Floats it over to Kraft, floated ahead, shot missed. That shot was attempted by number 9, Colin Eaton. And with Brian Gonsalves, the nearest player, Rivers maintains possession. Coming out of the back, they send a long pass back, and then they send it back up top to reset with Vlasic. Vlasic running with it to his right. He's got a bit of an opening. He takes the shot, misses wide, but right to a teammate on that one. And now coming around the back, that's Eaton. We got a whistle, I'm not sure what for. But whatever that whistle is, it looks like Rivers will maintain possession. Gonsalves running with it, gets the pick from Eaton. Floats it over to Anthony Stillwell. Stillwell trying to force his way around his defender. He gets around, he's got an opening, shoots, scores! Anthony Stillwell with his second goal of the game as he gives Rivers back the lead 3-2. Got around his defender, Sam Johnson. Nice combination of speed and physicality to force his way through and get the step up he needed for a nice open shot. 3-2, the Red Wings lead over the Mustangs here in the second quarter. We're just a minute and a half in. We've still got 10:35 left here in the first half. Face-off is taken again, and it's won by Lavalley. Lavalley sends a quick pass ahead to Andrade. Andrade now floats it ahead, and they send it behind the back. That's going to be Ralph Vogel with the ball. Now sends it back out to Lannon and up top to Hanlon. Mike Hanlon slowly surveying the field. They got to be careful about the time. They've gotten the possession clock twice already. Hanlon can't find any openings. Sends a pass inside to Lannon. Lannon's got some traffic to deal with. Running around, and he sends it back up top to Hanlon. Hanlon running with it. Going to his right. Floats it over. Pass inside to Lannon. Lannon takes the shot and he scores! Kai Lannon says, if Stillwell can score twice, so can I. Nice assist from number 23, Henry Shuttle on that one. Good pass to the middle. And Lannon took advantage with the jump shot to knot things back up at 3 apiece. We head back to the face-off circle. It'll once again be William Lavalley taking the face-off for Milton. I can't quite see the jersey number of who's taking it for Rivers. And the face-off is sent way back by Lavalley, and it's going to be scooped up easily by Milton's number 22, but it's taken away. This is number 4 shot, and they say it went in. Alan Dennison gives the lead right back to the Red Wings. It seemed that Milton had won the face-off, but the quick, aggressive defense from Rivers, and then the loose ball picked up by Alan Dennison, who puts it in. And now Dennison returning to the face-off circle to face Lavalley. 4-3, Rivers leads, and it looks like we got an infraction on the face-off, and so the ball will go to Milton. Lavalley floats it down the far side. Milton now with the ball. It's floated ahead to Andrade. Andrade with it. Sends it along to Ralph Vogel. Vogel working from the left side. He sends the pass up top to Mike Hanlon. Hanlon flips it over to Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen starts to advance, spins around his man. Got a bit of separation, but no room to shoot. Sends it behind the net to Vogel. Vogel trying to come around the back, well defended by Dennison. He passes it over to Shuttle, and the pass up top is intercepted. Taken away by Rivers number 10 as he brings it across midfield. Couple floated passes. And now a shot taken and scored. That was Alex Vlasic. Great interception by number 10, Jaden Wild. Couple quick passes and the ball wound up with Vlasic. And Vlasic sent that top shelf for the score. Rivers extends the lead to 5-3. We've got some quick scoring here in this second period. We had just 3 goals between the two teams through the entire first period, and now we've got 5 goals between the two, and we're only 3.5 minutes in. Back to the face-off circle we go. We got another whistle blown, and it looks like the face-off infraction again gives the ball to Milton. This will be Sam Johnson picking it up, running with it along the left side. Floats it over to Vogel. Vogel well defended by Dennison, but he runs around it as Dennison fell down. Vogel's got some space to run. Floats a pass over, picked up, sent ahead. Failed shot by Andrade. It was deflected and then taken away by Rivers. Long pass skips ahead. It finds Eaton. Eaton with one man to get around. Can't do it though, and he has to slow down. Instead, he sends the pass out. I think that's Joseph Kraft. Kraft trying to work around his man, forcing his way through. Shots turned away by Godwin. Rebound recovered by Gonsalves. Pass to Stillwell. Shot high. Misses. Rivers maintains possession. I believe this will be Eaton with the ball. Surveying the field. Sends an outlet pass. This is Poirier. Winds up. Bounce shot goes over the net. Gonsalves takes it again from behind the net for Rivers. Gonsalves goes around the pick from Eaton, floats it over to Stillwell. Stillwell with 2 goals in the game already. Up top, to number 13 and then flipped over to Poirier. Poirier fakes out his man, starts to advance, gets double teamed, his pass is deflected away. Poirier recovers it, sends it up top to Kraft. Kraft floats it in quickly, shot, score! The jump shot while being hit by number 13, Thomas Decken. 6-3, the Red Wings now lead over the Mustangs. 7:09 left to play in the second quarter. And the scoring is starting to open up for Rivers. They've scored 4 goals in this period that has been going for a little less than 5 minutes now. It'll be Lavalley against Queller once again in the face-off circle. Pushing around for the face-off. Both guys trying to make something happen. Looks like Queller's got it covered up and Lavalley is trying to leverage something. And now the ball skips away and we'll see who they award the ball to. It looks like they're going to award it to Rivers. This is Dennison running with it. He's got a couple steps, shoots, and scores! Alan Dennison making it look simple with his second goal of the game as Rivers takes the 7-3 lead over Milton. He heard the whistle, took off, and nobody was able to man him up. So he had a clear path to the goal. Five goals here in the second quarter for Rivers as they have pulled ahead by a margin of 7-3. Back in the face-off circle. This one's a little quicker to going, and it looks like it's going to be taken. It looked like it was going to be taken by Rivers, and indeed it is. The one to pick it up is Anthony Stillwell. Stillwell sends it over to Gonsalves. Gonsalves working from the right corner, sends a pass behind the net. I believe that's Eaton. Eaton coming towards the right corner, and he flips it over to Gonsalves. Gonsalves working around the back. He sends the pass, a bit of a bounce pass, juggled and then picked up by Poirier, who gives it over to Stillwell. Stillwell sends it behind the back to Gonsalves. The pass is deflected and recovered by Godwin. Some nice defense there by Milton's number 11, Murphy McLaughlin, as the Mustangs now try to work it up in transition, but they lost track of the ball. It's picked up by Joseph Kraft. Kraft with a quick pass, and the shot scored by Eaton. Colin Eaton with the goal there. And it looks like we've got a timeout called. So with 5:53 left here in the second quarter, the score, the Rivers School Red Wings 8, the Milton Academy Mustangs 3. Milton really starting to pull away now. That most recent goal by Colin Eaton. They've also, this period, had one score from Thomas Decken, one from Anthony Stillwell, two from Alan Dennison, and one from Alex Vlasic. So 6 goals in this period, and that was after only 2 in the first, which came from Stillwell and Brian Gonsalves. The Milton offense struggling to keep pace thus far. They had 1 goal in the first period from Kai Lannon, and they've had 2 goals this period, one from Max Andrade, and then a second goal from Lannon. Milton had kept it a close blow-for-blow game up to the point that it was 3-3. But 5 unanswered goals from the Red Wings have started to open up a pretty significant lead for Rivers. We've still got a lot of lacrosse to play, though, as Milton's William Lavalley returns to the face-off circle to face off against Rivers' Jack Queller. Here we go. Once again, looks like it's a cover-up situation with Lavalley trying to gain some leverage here. He pokes the ball free and couldn't be picked up, and it's scooped up by Queller. Queller running with it past Gonsalves. Gonsalves juggles it. He lost the ball, and he's being boxed off as there's a rough and tumble pursuit of the ball. We'll see who the refs give the ball to. It looks like they're going to give it to Rivers. Starting with it, looks like it'll be Joseph Kraft. Kraft running along the back, looking for a pass outlet. Ultimately sends one to a streaking teammate who shoots and misses. Battle for the rebound is ultimately won by Godwin. Impressive cut from number 19, Joshua Doe, but just couldn't finish the shot. Pass goes out to Kai Lannon. Lannon running with it in transition. Gets around a couple defenders, still running with it. Sends the pass ahead to Andrade. Milton on offense for the first time in a little while. Pass goes behind the back to number 12, Ted Wu. Wu still running with it. Sends a pass looking for Hanlon. He misses. It scoops way back. It was picked up by Murphy McLaughlin, but Rivers will get the ball. Doe passes over to Poirier. Poirier fires, bounces over the net again. Poirier's had no luck thus far with those bounce shots of his. They tend to bounce right over the net, but Rivers doing a good job of maintaining the possession regardless. This will be Joseph Kraft working from behind the net. Trying to get around his man, spins, shoots, and misses wide. A nice move from Kraft, but just couldn't quite finish. A little too awkward there. Gonsalves now trying to come around the back. He sends a pass out, and they try and send an outlet pass. It looks like it's going to be picked up. It looked like it was picked up for a second by Poirier. And for a second, it looked like it was claimed by Milton's number 22, Richie Fury. We've got a whistle, though, and it looks like there's going to be a 1-minute penalty served by Milton's number 21, Luca Casagrande. If I'm reading that correctly, the bar is kind of in the way of the scoreboard. A little hard to read. Passing around, and it goes to Joseph Kraft, now sent over to Poirier. Poirier holding it. A couple passes back and forth, back to Poirier, now over to Kraft. Stillwell, and now this is Gonsalves. Gonsalves tries to float one inside, and it's intercepted. Well played by Murphy McLaughlin. He's had some nice defensive plays so far today. He flips it ahead to Godwin himself, and he sends it ahead to number 15, Jackson Landy. Landy still running with it, got some room to work. A pass over to Vogel, and Vogel decides to pull back and get properly set on a play. As Landy subs out for a more offensive threat, Henry Shuttle. Vogel being pursued and tripped up. He lost the ball. Ball is taken away by Rivers, and a couple quick passes ahead. It goes to Joseph Kraft. Kraft running with it, getting around his man, but not entirely, and the ball is taken away. It's on the ground, being fought for and scooped up by Milton. That is Casagrande with the ball. He sends the pass behind the net over to Godwin. Godwin being chased. Still running with it. Sends a pass ahead to Vanderveen. Vanderveen goes across midfield. Sends a long pass ahead aiming for Wu. But it misses, and that's going to be a turnover as Rivers takes back the possession. This will be number 3, Will Potter with the ball. Potter running with it. Floats a pass up. Gets over Vogel and is collected by number 23, Vlasic. He then sends it ahead to Gonsalves, back to Vlasic. Vlasic now floats it over to number 13, Decken. Decken looking for a place to advance, can't do it. He has to pass out to Gonsalves, who then sends it behind the net. They're trying to come out the back of the net. Well defended by Milton. And the outlet pass goes back out to, I believe, Poirier. Poirier trying to force his way through, can't do it. Sends the pass out to Vlasic. Vlasic fires, saved by Godwin. We've got a whistle blown. And from the look of frustration on Godwin, it looks like they called something against him. I'm not sure what, though. But either way, Rivers is going to get the ball back. Passing it around, and it goes to Gonsalves. Gonsalves sends it behind the net to, I believe, Eaton. And then over to Gonsalves. Over to Decken. Decken trying to work around his defender, but can't do it. Sends it up top, almost intercepted, but then picked up by Poirier. Poirier floats a pass over to Kraft, back to the shot goes in, but we've got a whistle. We got a flag thrown. Do they count that goal? That goal looked like it was scored by number 14, Alex Fuchson. If that score counts, it'll be 9-3 in favor of Rivers. Scoreboard showing 9-3. And it looks like on top of the goal, a penalty is going to be served by Milton's number 32, Jack Smith. So the lead continues to expand for the Red Wings. They now lead the Mustangs 9-3 as we've got another battle in the face-off circle. And now it's scooped up by Stillwell after it's flipped into the air. And it looks like we got a timeout called by Rivers, I think. Probably trying to get a set play with the man-up advantage before the period ends. 54.9 seconds left in the second period. And 48 seconds left on the penalty against Jack Smith. The score, Rivers 9, Milton 3. It's been a very Rivers dominant quarter thus far. They have outscored, the Red Wings that is, have outscored the Mustangs 7-2 in this period after outscoring them 2-1 in the first period. Scoring's been pretty well spread around for the Red Wings. They've got 2 goals each from Anthony Stillwell and Alan Dennison, as well as 1 goal apiece from from Brian Gonsalves, Colin Eaton, Thomas Decken, Alex Fuchson, and Alex Vlasic. Over on Milton's side, the goal scorers thus far, we've got 2 goals from Kai Lannon and 1 from Max Andrade. Sun peeking out from the clouds here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts as Rivers gets ready coming out of the timeout. Couple quick passes back and forth, and then they send it over to Anthony Stillwell, now over to Brian Gonsalves, back to Stillwell. Back up top, now over to Stillwell again, now over to Poirier, over to Kraft. They're moving the ball around really quick. We'll see who decides to take the shot as they send it up top to Poirier, now over to Stillwell, time running out, they pass it over to Gonsalves, pass it along the back to Eaton, pass it back out, another pass over to Kraft, over to Poirier, over to Stillwell, over to Gonsalves. Gonsalves fakes, starts to charge, runs out of room, going around the back. Sends an outlet pass to Kraft. Kraft just charges, decides against it. Passes over to Vlasic, now over to Kraft. Running out of time, over to Vlasic. Vlasic, the low shot saved by Godwin. Loose ball, and that's going to end the period. So a positive note to end on for the Milton Academy Mustangs, as goalie Alex Godwin finishes with 1 save on the final shot of the period. And that'll be halftime. Through 2 periods so far today, the score, the Rivers School Red Wings 9, the Milton Academy Mustangs 3. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan on behalf of Milton Academy, bringing you the live broadcast of this high school boys lacrosse game. I'm going to put my mic on mute for a short break between periods, but I'll be back with the second half of this ball game, so be sure to stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Milton Academy at Milton, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan and I am here to bring you the third quarter of this high school boys lacrosse matchup between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the visiting Rivers School Red Wings. The Red Wings in a pretty good spot right now with a 9-3 lead over Milton. The two teams fought back and forth, but the last time that Milton scored was an equalizer goal by Kai Lannon that knotted the game up at 3 apiece. And as you can see by the current score, since then it has been all Rivers. So it looks like it'll be Rivers number 6, Jack Queller, heading into the face-off circle to start the second half against Milton's face-off specialist, William Lavalley. Nine to 3 the score, and here we go. Getting the third quarter underway. Some pushing and shoving, but ultimately it's won by Queller. Queller running with it, still running with it, floats a pass over to Joseph Kraft. Now he sends one back out in retreat to Alan Dennison, and we reset. Dennison sends a pass over to someone who just checked in, and now a pass over to Gonsalves. Gonsalves sends a sweeping shot over the net. And now Rivers has to reset. They maintain possession, though, and the pass goes over to Gonsalves. Gonsalves trying to run around a pick. Still no opening, so he passes it back to Kraft. Kraft running around the back as well. Still no opening, so he sends it to Gonsalves. Gonsalves, the outlet pass. And the pass up top to Dennison. Alan Dennison retreating all the way back to midfield to completely reset this play. And he trips and falls, but maintains possession of the ball. He sends the pass ahead to Poirier. Poirier swings it over to, I believe, Gonsalves. It is Gonsalves with the ball, working against his man, trying to fight his way around. No openings here, so he floats a pass, looking for number 19, I believe that's Doe, who then passes it up to number 17, Poirier. Poirier trying to fight his way through, takes a shot, and he scores! First goal of the second half by number 17, Brendan Poirier. He's been taking a number of shots so far today. A lot of them bounced over the net, but no bounce on that one. It just hit the bottom of the net. 10-3 now the score. Rivers reaches the double-digit threshold and a 7-goal lead early here in the third quarter. Mark it now 7 unanswered goals since the last time Milton scored. Face-off this time is won by Lavalley, and he takes off running. Still running, takes the shot himself, but it's saved by the Rivers goalie, Dominic Pasquale. A name I haven't had to say a whole heck of a lot, but he makes a nice stop there. They work in transition, get across midfield. This is number 7, Elliot Doe, running with it. Gets around his man, he's got some room to work. Decides to pull back and flip it over to one of the more offensive specialists. That's Colin Eaton. Eaton, one of the many different goal scorers for Rivers, and he sends it over to Anthony Stillwell, one of the multi-goal scorers so far today. He's got 2. Running along the right corner, Stillwell still with the ball, starting to come around the back, decides to take a shot, but well defended and turned away. That might have been deflected by, I think that is Milton's number 20, Wayne Simon, who helped out on the defense there. Now coming out the back, a shot goes high. I believe that was Stillwell who fired that laser. Sailed over the net, but Rivers maintains possession. Eaton sends the pass over to Stillwell. Stillwell trying to come out of the back. Nothing there, but he passes to Gonsalves. Gonsalves Had a look for a second, but well defended by Simon. Pass over to Eaton instead. Eaton threatening to come around the back. Tries a pass into traffic. Skips past his man, and the loose ball is picked up by Godwin for a second. But we've got a whistle, and it looks like it's going to stay with Rivers. Milton's had a lot of trouble getting the ball back cleanly, as Vlasic sends the pass over to, I believe, Stillwell, who then gives it back to Vlasic. Vlasic also with 1 goal so far today as he takes off running, charges, shoots, deflected off of someone's foot, I think. And that skips way back, and it's going to stay with Rivers. This will be Gonsalves with the ball as we've got a whistle. Gonsalves still running with it, being defended by McLaughlin. Swings a pass over to Vlasic. Vlasic gets around his man, shoots, shot goes high. Did we have a broken stick? It seems like Kai Lannon might have had a broken stick there, but either way, Rivers resetting as they try a quick substitution. The pass to Stillwell, shoots, save by Godwin. Godwin sends the pass along to Wayne Simon. Simon passes it over to Jack Smith. Smith running with it, being chased. He gets across midfield, and he floats it over to Max Andrade. Andrade, one of the 2 different goal scorers for Milton thus far. He's got 1 goal today. Still working against his defender, being defended by Elliot Doe. Works around the back, still with the ball, and finally floats it over to Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen sends it up top to Mike Hanlon. 7.5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter, and the ball is poked away! Taken by Milton, and now they're running in transition. This is Vlasic with the ball. He winds up, shoots, and misses wide. It'll be Colin Eaton coming out the back after that missed shot by Alex Vlasic. The pass goes up top over to Brendan Poirier. He's got the only goal of the 3rd quarter thus far. He passes it over to Joseph Kraft. Now over to Eaton. Now over to, I want to say, Gonsalves. The outlet pass goes to Deccan, and he misses. Rebound, scores! Shot was saved by Godwin off of the shot by Deccan, but Alex Fuchsen picks up the rebound and puts it in for his 2nd goal of the day. 11-3. The Red Wings continue to pull away from the Mustangs here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring not coming as fast as it did in the 2nd period, but the scoring still coming as the Red Wings continue to extend their lead. Battle for the face-off. This guy falls on the ball for a bit, but now ultimately after the dust clears, it is taken by Queller. Sends a bounce pass ahead to Poirier, and now Poirier running in transition. Poirier sends the pass ahead to, I believe, Stillwell, who then swings it over to Eaton and then over to Kraft. Kraft now running around, being well defended, passes it back out to Poirier. Poirier runs around the pick from Kraft, but switch defense works perfectly, so he has to retreat and then pass it over to Kraft. Kraft now running with it. Faked out his defender, looked for an inlet pass, missed, but the rebound and shot scored! That was Anthony Stillwell completing the hat trick. The attempted pass by Kraft after he faked out his man was knocked away from the intended target, Alan Dennison, but then the loose ball was picked up by Anthony Stillwell and fired into the back of the net. 12-3. The Red Wings now lead the Mustangs. 6:18 left here in the 3rd quarter. And it'll be Queller and Lavallee back in the face-off circle. It's won by Lavalley this time. Lavalley moving in transition. He sends the pass ahead to Ralph Vogel. Vogel running with it. He goes around to pick, but has it taken away from him from behind. Kicked ahead and picked up by Joseph Kraft. Some powerful defense from Alan Dennison. Kraft running with it, trying to advance. The ball gets knocked away from him, and it's a loose ball, but it's picked up by Rivers. Pass goes out to Stillwell. Stillwell, the leading scorer thus far. He just scored his third goal, and he's slowly working his way around the back. Starts to charge out the back, sneaks in a shot, and he scores again. Some fancy technique there from Anthony Stillwell for his fourth goal. He seemed well covered by Milton's Bill Eugene, but he did sort of a behind the back low shot and just snuck it in. He's been trying that shot a couple of times and it hasn't worked, but that time it works. Stillwell knots his fourth goal, and Rivers secures a 13-3 lead over Milton. False start on the face-off by Queller, and so Milton will get the possession. Mike Hanlon bringing the ball up for the Mustangs. Pass it over to Andrade, now back out to Hanlon. Hanlon moves to his right. Slowly going behind the back. Milton has not yet scored here in the second half, as they trail significantly. Hanlon coming around the back, pass to Andrade. Andrade fakes the shot, charges, shoots. Deflected away by the goalie, Pasquale, and now it's picked up by Ralph Vogel behind the net as the possession stays with Milton Academy. Vogel passes it out to Kai Lannon, who's got 2 goals on the day so far. He passes it over to Will Vanderveen. Vanderveen starts to charge, gets around his man. Another one comes to help. He tries to spin around, still trying to force his way. Passes over to Hanlon, pass over to Lannon. He picks it up, shoots, and well saved by Pasquale. Loose ball picked up by Rivers. And they are slowly moving in transition. The long pass goes ahead. It's grabbed by Milton's number 16, who then passes it over to 22. Swung over to Stillwell, who then sends it behind the back over to, I think that is number 19, Joshua Doe. That is Joshua Doe, who passes it back to Kraft. Another quick pass, I believe that's Stillwell, who then sends it out to Vlasic. Vlasic starting to cut inside, falling down, shot goes wide. Might have been slightly tripped up either by a defender or by his own feet. Regardless, the shot misses and the possession stays with Rivers. This is either Stillwell or Eaton coming around the back. Couldn't tell. The pass intercepted by Wayne Simon. And we got a whistle that gives the ball back to Rivers. It seems like every time Milton is about to clear out on the defense, they commit some kind of an infraction that gives the ball right back to the Red Wings. Brendan Poirier running with it. He decides to pull back and pass it out to Vlasic. Pass to Puxon, who then tries to send it back to, I believe, Stillwell. Misses. But they're going to say out on Milton. And so it stays with Rivers. The pass out to Poirier. Poirier running with it, trying to spin around, takes a shot, misses wide. Pick the ball up, they flip it over to number 14, Fuchsen. Fuchsen with 2 goals already today. He passes to Poirier, who then sends it up top to Vlasic. Vlasic gets around one man, curves around another, but runs into another then and passes it over to Stillwell. Stillwell spins around one man, shoots, saved by Godwin, and the rebound is picked up by Milton. But no, it's taken away. Casagrande lost it. Now the pass has another loose ball. It's picked up by Wayne Simon. And Simon turns around and starts to work the transition. He passes it over to Godwin. Godwin sends the pass back to Simon. Simon slowly bringing it up. He passes it over to Godwin. They're just going back and forth, trying to safely move it ahead. He finally passes it ahead, but misses his man. He was aiming for McLaughlin. Loose ball, being chased after by Andrade. Andrade trying to scoop it up and struggling to do so. Still a scrum for the ball. We got 4 players in there, and now we got a whistle. It looks like someone... They call offsides on Milton. I thought the penalty might be because one of the Milton players got shoved over. Maybe it was against Rivers, but instead Rivers gets the ball. A couple quick passes. It goes to Joseph Kraft. Now a wide open Joshua Doe, and he gets the ball in the net. Joshua Doe off the assist from Joseph Kraft. He narrowly fits the ball in the net off of the narrow side. And the score is now 14-3 in favor of Rivers. After that last score, I can't show you the scoreboard right now. The sun is shining too brightly in that direction. But the time left in the third quarter is 1:55. The score, the Rivers School Red Wings 14. The Milton Academy Mustangs 3. 11 unanswered goals thus far by the Red Wings. It's been a tough outing, certainly, for the Mustangs. And that last call really feels like it kind of explains the tone here that this game has gone for Milton thus far. Scrum for the ball. One of the Milton players gets shoved over, and you immediately hear the whistle. You think to yourself, oh, this is going to be a penalty on Rivers, and so Milton will get the ball and get to be on the attack. But actually, it's an offsides against Milton, and Rivers gets the ball, and they quickly pass it ahead, and before anybody even knows what's happened, Joshua Doe has scored goal number 14 of the day. It's been a day of frustrations for Milton, particularly in those battles for the loose balls and the works and transitions, and in getting the ball out of their own end. Seems like every time they're about to make a good defensive stand, all of a sudden a whistle is blown and the ball stays with Rivers, and they take advantage of those extra possessions. We head back to the face-off circle. Lavallee and Queller fighting for it. And it's won by Lavallee very quickly. He sends a pass ahead to Vogel and then checks out. Vogel running along the left corner, trying to get his team's first goal since early in the second quarter. He passes it out to Hanlon. Hanlon slowly starts to charge now, fakes out one guy. He's got some room to work, passes it over to Vogel. Vogel thought about shooting, decided against it, and then passes it complete to Kyle Annan, and then sent over to Max Andrade. Andrade slowly working his way around the back. Sends a pass over to Vogel. Vogel sends it out to Hanlon. Hanlon starting to charge around his man, but lost the ball. He scoops it back up and keeps the possession alive. Tries to spin around his man, nothing doing. Looking for a pass. He sends one over to Andrade. Andrade sends one back looking for Wu, and it misses and goes out of bounds. 50.8 seconds left here in the third period as Rivers takes over once again. The pass is deflected but recovered by Rivers number 16, Henry Salyer. Salyer passes it over to number 10 and then back to Salyer. Salyer then passes it ahead to Decken, and Decken sends it ahead. Pass goes back out to Brendan Poirier. Poirier spins, fires, scores! Brendan Poirier with his second goal of the day. They say when it rains, it pours. We didn't get any rain today, although the possibility was in the forecast, but it's certainly been a downpour from the Rivers offense so far today. 15-3 with 13.1 seconds left in the period. The faceoff is won by Lavalley. Lavalley trying to move with it along the far side. The pass attempted for Lannon is missed and then picked up by Rivers. Last whistle for the third quarter. No chance to shoot there for number 22, Calvin Lemley. And so through 3 quarters, things have not gotten better for the home team. The current score with 1 quarter left to play, the Rivers School Red Wings 15, the Milton Academy Mustangs 3. Six goals scored in that third period unanswered. I am Jesse Mayfield Shin, and I'll be back with the fourth quarter of this game after a short mute break. Stay tuned. And I'm back here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield Shin, and I'm here to bring you the fourth and final period of this high school boys lacrosse game between the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs and the visiting Rivers School Red Wings. So, sorry about that. That was knocked over my audio interface for a second. That was a bit worrisome, but we're okay. And we're ready to go with the fourth quarter here. The score, Rivers 15, Milton 3, as we got a scrum for the opening face-off of the fourth quarter. Whistle is blown, and they point it in for Milton. So Milton will get the ball to start the fourth and final period. Running with the ball is Milton. They pass it ahead to number 12, Ted Wu. Wu passing it around. A quick pass. That goes over to Kai Lannon. Lannon had no opening there and decided to retreat. Passes it up top to Mike Hanlon. Hanlon starting to run with it. Sends a pass. A floated shot as it was being pushed and easily saved by the goalie, number 25, Marcos Ramos. Couple quick passes, but one skips away. Loose ball, picked up for a second by Landon, but he lost it. And now picked up by Murphy McLaughlin. McLaughlin now running with it. Sends a long pass ahead to Max Andrade. Andrade throws a pass for a wide open Ted Wu. He missed. The pass missed high. Ted Wu was wide open. No one between him and the goalie. And so Rivers will take over. This will be number 4, Alan Dennison, bringing the ball up for the Red Wings. Floats a pass ahead. Completes it to number 7, Elliot Doe, who then flips it over to number 16, Sawyer. Sawyer running around with it. Sends a pass up to number 13, Deccan. Pass over to Poirier, and then a pass down low to, I think, number 9, Colin Eaton. Eaton passes into traffic and misses. And it gets taken once again by McLaughlin. McLaughlin sends the outlet pass over to Casagrande. Casagrande sends it ahead. And now running with it, I believe it was Wayne Simon, but his pass misses, and it's picked up by Ramos. Ramos, the backup goalie, sends it ahead to Brendan Poirier, who gets across midfield. Keeps going, trying to push his way around. He gets double teamed. Ball is knocked loose, and it's picked up by Jack Smith. Jack Smith now running with it across midfield. Into the attack zone, passes ahead. It's Max Andrade. Andrade sends a pass back out to Mike Hanlon. Hanlon holds it and then passes it over to Vanderveen. Vanderveen then sends it over to Kai Lannon. Lannon with 2 of Milton's 3 goals thus far today. As he works against his defender, Decken, he passes it over to Hanlon. Hanlon running to his right, decides against it, turns back towards the center. Running, got a bit of a step, but not enough of an opening as help came over. Passes it over to Wu. Wu sends it back to Vogel. Vogel trying to come around. No openings there, and so he sends the pass back out to Hanlon. Swung over to Lannon, then sent over to Andrade, who brings it along the right corner and around the back of the net. Andrade, the other goal scorer for Milton so far today. He starts coming around the back, shoots, and he scores! Max Andrade. Coming out the back, he manages to get the first score since the second period for the Milton Academy Mustangs. The string of 12 unanswered goals is finally snapped as Andrade scores his second goal of the day. 15-4 now the score, still well in favor of Rivers. But a little bit of late dignity restored there by Max Andrade as William Lavallée wins the faceoff. He's being swarmed by defenders, flips the pass over to Shuttle. Shuttle running with it. He shoots and it goes high. Henry Shuttle decided to get aggressive there, and now Ted Wu will be with the ball after he was the closest one to that out-of-bounds shot. He comes out the back, looks for a pass. He went to Vogel. Vogel tried to go for a sweeping shot, but it was deflected away from him. Didn't work, and the loose ball is picked up by Rivers. Rivers now moving with it. This is number 23, Vlasic. Alex Vlasic still running with the ball. Sends a pass over to number 10 and then over to number 12. A bunch of backups now in the game for Rivers. But not that one. That is Colin Eaton with the ball currently as he operates out of the back. Looking for his passing options. He floats it over to Vlasic, who then sends it up top to Joseph Kraft. Kraft now charging with it. He's got a bit of a step. Decides to send a pass. Shot by Poirier. Scores! Brendan Poirier with his third goal of the day. Second. I think that's actually his second goal. Is it his second or his third? We've had 16 goals scored by Rivers, and I'm starting to lose track here. If it is the hat trick, then he's the second member of his team to have at least 3 goals today, the other being Anthony Stillwell, who leads all scorers with 4 goals. If it's his second goal, then he joins a bit of a list from both teams of 2-goal scorers. 16-4, the score in favor of Rivers. The faceoff won for a second, but then knocked loose and picked up by Hanlon. Hanlon being swarmed and checked to the ground, and we've got a whistle blown. And the delayed penalty is finally called. It looks like this one is going to go against Rivers. The body check on Mike Hanlon knocked him over. He had no chance to hold on to the ball there. And so that'll be number 6, Jack Queller, serving the 1-minute penalty. for the Red Wings, who have, I don't think, had any penalties before this point. So a rare chance here for Milton as they're passing it around. Ralph Vogel currently with the ball. He flips it over to Kai Lannon, who then sends it over to Shuttle. Behind the back to Ted Wu, then back out to Andrade, who sends it up top to Lannon, who juggled and lost the ball. It's picked up, and now running in transition is Rivers. That's number 3 who passes it over to 22. The shot missed. Couldn't see who that shot was. But either way, the possession stays with Rivers after the missed shot. One currently with the ball is number 14, Alex Fuchsen. Fuchsen sends it up top to Decken. Thomas Decken, to be specific. Decken still running with it along the left. 2 players pursuing him. He decides to just charge with it. He's got an opening. Shot, and it's in. Defense was trying to push him towards the left side, but they left too great of an opening for him to just charge ahead and take his shot. And he took it, and he makes it 17-4. Second goal of the day for Thomas Decken. Six minutes, 12 seconds left here in this game. The score, the Rivers School Red Wings 17, the Milton Academy Mustangs 4. Back to the face-off circle we go. And oh my goodness. That was a loud body check on number 26 of Rivers, who is not on my roster. But the check leveled by number 22, Richie Fury. You could hear that one. And while the crowd may have reveled in a little bit of extra physical action, that's going to be a 2-minute penalty served by Fury. So Rivers with the ball. Passed over to Stillwell, then over to Consalves. Back to Stillwell. Up top to Vlasic, now swung over to Stillwell. Over to Consalves. Back to Stillwell and back to Vlasic. Now over to Brendan Poirier on the left. Now another quick pass back to Vlasic. Vlasic tries to send the pass inside. Hits too much traffic. And ultimately the loose ball is flipped over the back of the net. Scooped up for a second, but not controlled. And ultimately it's taken by Rivers. Milton Academy's been struggling getting a proper grip on these loose balls all game. And in that situation, it comes back to bite him again. More passing around from Rivers. It's now with Poirier, now passed over to Stillwell. Back to Poirier. Loose ball for a second, but recovered by Poirier. Passed ahead, I think that's Kraft. Another quick pass, a couple quick passes. They seem to have an open Vlasic for a second, but it's ultimately taken away by Alex Godwin, and it looks like we're going to get a delayed penalty against Rivers. So Milton now running with it. They've got the delayed penalty on their side. A quick pass into Vogel. Vogel trying to run around his man, take the shot. It skips, saved by Ramos, but recovered on the rebound by number 18, Jason Lee. Lee flips it over to Ralph Vogel, who then sends it up top to Mike Hanlon. We've still got the delayed penalty going as the penalty against Fury is running out of time. Hanlon starts to charge with it, weaving through traffic, sends the low shot, he scores! Mike Hanlon doing it himself. That was a little serpentine running there, just weaving in and around the defenders until he finally got the opening he wanted. He sent the low shot and got it past the goalie. Fifth goal of the day for the Mustangs as they now trail Rivers 17-5, and the penalty comes into play. It's going to be a 1-minute penalty against Rivers number 23, Alex Vlasic. So Fury with 17 seconds left on his penalty, and the full minute left for Vlasic. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left on the overall game clock. And it looks like Milton, for the first time, will not be sending William Loveley in for the faceoff. They are sending number 33, Sam Johnson. Battle for the faceoff is being scrummed for and ultimately picked up. That is Rivers' number 10, going across midfield and floating it all the way over to the back. Send the outlet pass, and they come in retreat. Penalty is over for Milton, as it is now Deccan running around with it, looking for a good place to operate. He's trying to force his way through, spin his way through. They're taking a bunch of swings at the stick, trying to get the ball away from him, as I think Milton is just trying to run out the clock. We got a delayed penalty. They send a pass towards a cutting player. It's taken away by Milton, but that's going to be another penalty. The Milton defenders taking a bunch of big swings, trying to knock the ball out of the pocket of Thomas Deccan. And that's going to be a 3-minute penalty against, I believe, number 11, Murphy McLaughlin. So big penalty minutes coming in against the Mustangs. Couple passes back and forth. It finally goes back to Deccan. Deccan swings it over to Stillwell. Stillwell, the leading scorer with 4 goals today, as the penalty against Vlasic expires. A few passes around, and now it goes back to the recently freed Vlasic. He passes over to Deccan. Sent over to Stillwell. Now Stint behind. And now a pass back out. They try to pass inside. They pass it back out to Vlasic. Vlasic decides to flip it over to Deccan. Deccan swings it over to Stillwell. Stillwell passes it around to Deccan. He decides against the shot and passes it to Stillwell. They send it behind the back. Now back around. Now back, and now back out. The shot from Deccan is saved by Godwin. The flip pass, though, is quickly intercepted by Deccan. The quick pass, but Godwin checks him to the ground and prevents the shot. And we've got another whistle. This is going to be another penalty against Milton Academy, I believe, as it is number 8, Anthony Stillwell. No one's serving the penalty right now as they send the pass behind the net and then send it back around. Back out to Vlasic, who then swings it over to Sawyer. Now over to Stillwell. Back up to Sawyer. Flipped over to Vlasic. Back to Sawyer. And now back over to Stillwell as they just send it around the circle. Send it out back. Back again. And the shot scored by Fuchsen. Alex Fuchsen off the assist from, I think, number 12, Nicholas Beakey. 18-5, the score now in favor of the Red Wings with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left on the clock. Back in the face-off circle. Face-off won by number 26. Milton's number 26 running with it. A couple of quick passes. And now they move back in retreat. This is number 22, Calvin Lemley, who passes it over to Fuchsen, who just scored his 3rd goal of the game. Passed back over to Lemley, who then passes it out to, I believe, Joseph Kraft. Couple quick passes, gets it behind the net. Still passing it around. They send it back to Sawyer. Sawyer running around his man, looking for an opening. And now another couple quick passes. Now they're on the other side. Still moving around the quick passes, just wearing out the clock. Less than a minute and a half left in this game. Another couple quick passes. The shot is saved by Godwin, but recovered behind the net. They send another quick pass, and that shot is turned away by Godwin. It might have missed wide. That shot by Nicholas Beakey. Couple quick passes. Send it back out to Joshua Doe, who now passes over to Sawyer. Back over to, actually, I think that's Joseph Kraft, number 18, who sends it over to Nicholas Beakey, but he loses it out of bounds. 45.9 seconds left in this game. Milton Academy Mustangs will see if they can get one last score on the board here before this game winds down. The pass goes back to the goalie, Godwin, being chased by the Rivers defenders. He sends a long bouncing pass. The loose ball is knocked out of bounds. Skips into the crowd. And they're going to give possession back to Rivers. Fuchsen running with it. 25 seconds left in this game. And it looks like Rivers is just going to try and hold it and pass it around as we wind out the clock. 18-5. Rivers leads Milton, and it looks like that will be the final result. Less than 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So that ends the ball game here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. The final score, the Rivers School Red Wings 18, the Milton Academy Mustangs 5. The Red Wings led in scoring by Anthony Stillwell, who had 4 goals on the day. Also got a hat trick from Alex Fuchsen as well, and a number of other multi-goal scorers and single goal scorers as well. Among them, 1 goal from Brian Gonsalves, 2 from Alan Dennison, 1 from Colin Eaton, 2, I believe, from Thomas Decken, 2 from Brendan Poirier, 1 from Joshua Doe, and 1 from Alex Vlasic. On the Milton side, the goal scoring summary is a little easier. They were led by 2 goals each from Kai Lannon and Max Andrade, and then the 5th and final goal came from Mike Hanlon. So that'll do it. Representing Milton Academy, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Was proud to bring you this broadcast, and I hope to bring you more. Final score, one last time, Rivers 18, Milton Academy 5. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts, signing off. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Friday.